Gone are the days of one corporate video to rule them all.
In the common tongue, it says one
Video
to rule them all.
To be effective with video marketing strategy for a business, you need to be planning for multiple videos to use at different stages of the journey that your customers go on to buy from you. I call this a full funnel video strategy, and I'm going to break it all down for you right now. G'day, I'm Ben Amos from Engage Video Marketing, and it's my role to help you engage your ideal audience to action through effective video marketing strategy. So if that sounds valuable to you, hit that subscribe button and then the bell so you don't miss any videos here on YouTube. Now here's the thing, effective video marketing for a business is about using the right video at the right time in the right way to move the right audience to take action. That is, to part with their cash and to buy from you. But video marketing can't be all about the sale. You see, there's a journey that people go on to buy from you, and it's based on the psychology of how people buy, which, by the way, I went into more detail about in this video right here. So as a video marketer, it's important to consider the different types of videos that you can use at different stages of that customer journey. And that's what I'm going to be talking about in the rest of this video, as I share an extract from my full presentation at Social Media Marketing World in 2020. So let's dive in. What we're going to do over the next little bit is unpack what I call the full funnel video strategy framework. And what we're going to do is understand the types of videos that you can apply at different stages along that journey that a customer goes on to buy from you. Critical caveat here is to remember that you need to know that customer, you need to understand them better than they know themselves so that you know that journey that they're going on. So they're moving across from left to right here, from an emotional need through to a rational decision to make a purchase. And we've got those stages of the customer journey, which you're probably familiar with, which they go through a phase of awareness, through a process of consideration, and then to making a decision to purchase. But there's more than that. Okay, a full funnel video strategy framework, and in fact a full funnel marketing framework, should also consider what happens after the purchase, which is the advocacy stage, right? So once they've bought from you, how can you encourage them to become advocates of your brand, loyalists who will buy from you again and refer other people to you as well? So when we're mapping out this full funnel video strategy framework here, I want you to recognize that we're going to recognize the advocates as well. Okay, so let's break it down. So the first goal for video in a marketing strategy, I believe to be what I call brand positioning. Now, brand positioning is aligning with people who are at that awareness stage of the journey, which is when they're becoming aware of a need that will eventually lead them to make a purchase. And brand positioning is all about getting that emotional connection. I talk about the idea of getting people to buy into your brand before you ask them to buy from your brand. Right? If you can get them to buy in before you ask them to buy, then they're much more likely to buy. And generally, the kinds of videos that work really well here, storytelling. Okay, think about Mike's keynote this morning. The power of storytelling to move people on an emotional level to take action is so critical at what marketers would call the top of the funnel. So let's talk about that. What that might look like is brand stories, client stories, vlogging. So taking people behind the scenes, taking them on a journey with you or your business, getting them to buy into what you do and how you do it. Or a more generic term I'm referring to as concept films there, which can take a whole bunch of different styles, whether it be like what guys like the Harmon brothers do and that sort of thing. The critical thing to recognize when you're thinking about what brand stories look like for your business, whether they be client stories or brand stories, is you need to understand who the hero of that story is. And the hero of your story when it comes to your brand is not you, it's not your brand, it's not your business, it's not your people. Okay, you guys probably recognize, because you've heard it here before, I'm sure, that the hero of your story is your customers. And you become the guide or the mentor that comes alongside your customers to achieve a better outcome for them. So when you're crafting these stories, regardless of the platform, you need to recognize that you need to lift up your customers, your audience, the people who are going to buy from you, and tell stories that resonate with them. If you're in Tim Schmoy's session just before, he talked about the importance of relatable characters in your stories, and that's what you want to aim for here. I'll give you some examples. So the first one, in the interest of time, I'm not going to show you these full stories. They're both around 2 to 3 minutes long, but I'm going to show you little extracts. So it will fade out. You can go and look them up and see them in full. The first one is from Tesla. It's a client story, and here they're elevating the client and you choosing a relatable client to their ideal customer.
Yeah, I mean, you've got this amazing resource. We've got great sunny weather here in Queensland, and it'd be a shame to waste it, wouldn't it? I grew up in Cairns, and it was really normal to, ride a bike down to the creek and go for a swim, just spend some time in the rainforest. When we were looking for a place to raise the boys, I wanted something similar where they could go out and explore. Wanted a Powerwall, and I was curious about it. I knew the quality of the Tesla car and the product, so we were using quite a bit of electricity with the ducted air. I thought, well, let's see how we can save some money and obviously help the environment. I knew the battery technology was good, but the form factor of the Tesla Powerwall, it has to look good as well and not take up too much room. It looks futuristic. They've spent the time.
Basically, we're telling the story here of a Tesla owner. He looks like a Tesla owner, doesn't he? But basically, he's talking about why he buys into Tesla products. From his perspective, he's saying why he makes certain decisions with his family and with his life that align with the thought process behind why you'd buy a Tesla product and have a Tesla car and a Tesla Powerwall. And the idea is, if you're that kind of customer, you're going to relate to that guy and you're going to say, yes, that's me. That's why I want to buy Tesla as well. Right? I think we've all seen examples of that done well. Now I'm going to play again here. We probably don't have the sound for some reason, but that's okay. The next one here is the Lego. It's a designer story.
My name is Chris.
My name is Adam.
And together we designed the new Lego Batmobile.
Well, the set is the 1989 version of the Batmobile, the one that was featured in the Tim Burton movie. It's probably the biggest Lego car to date. We think it's going to stay the biggest one for quite a while.
There were quite a few features that we wanted to include in the set. There's 2 weapons that pop up in the hood of the car, just like it does in the movie, where the kind of like top lids blow off.
And we have the canopy that is actually tilted but still moves forwards and backwards.
Basically, these guys, they have this limited edition Batmobile, like a collector's edition Batmobile Lego set from like the 1970 type, the 1990 Batman, I think it is. But basically, rather than just talking about the product, what they're doing here is interviewing the designers. So talking about why they came up with this style, this design for the Batmobile. And you won't be able to hear it here, but that's okay. So basically, by doing that, they're celebrating the story of the designers, which, yes, it is the people within the brand, and I said they're not the heroes, but what they're doing here is they're recognizing that the designers, the people behind this, are fans of Batman, right? So they're fans and they're also Lego designers. So if you're the ideal target audience to buy this Lego set, then chances are you're going to align with that message. You with me on that? You understand the types of stories we're going to tell there? Sorry about the audio issues. So then we move into the consideration phase. Now, in the consideration phase, people ideally have bought in, they've made the right emotional connection to your brand or business, and now the goal is what I call social engagement. And social engagement is, well, there's 2 reasons why I call it social engagement. And the first reason is that people buy from people, right? So the social aspect here is critical. You need to allow people to connect with you and your brand and the people behind your brand here to make human connections and build relationships with your customers before you ask them to buy. This is like your second and third date, right? Using that dating analogy. And engagement is all about getting people to care, getting people to come on the journey with you, right? If you can get them to sit up and pay attention on that first date, the goal of social engagement content is to get them to come further into your ecosystem, okay? And what we want to aim to achieve here with our content is, as a blanket term, I call helpful content. And helpful content is all around creating content that educates, informs, inspires, or entertains people. Okay, so here in the middle of the funnel, you want to be considering how you can create content that provides value without the expectation of compensation. Okay, so you need to give more value as a brand, not try and pitch a sale in this kind of content. The idea of reciprocity comes into play here, right? If you're the brand or business that gives away more valuable content that helps people learn more or feel more educated about the decision they're going to make, then they're more likely to buy from you. So the kinds of content you're going to create here are how-to videos, frequently asked questions type videos, educate people, right? You can think about bringing people behind the scenes, because if you feel like you know the brand behind the scenes, then you're more likely to buy from them because you're starting to feel connection on a human level with the people behind that business. Okay, so take people behind the scenes. Also, thought leadership. If you've got a flag in the soil and you want people to come and salute it, then you need to put thought leadership out there and say, this is what I stand for. And the right people will be attracted to that message. And those right people are your customers, right? So thought leadership type content. Entertainment works really well here as well, because people want to be entertained, and if you can engage them in that, then they're going to come back for more and more and more, and then they're more likely to buy from you when you've got something to sell. The idea of bingeable content is important here, okay? So the kind of holy grail here is create a content plan that people want to come back again and again for. So they're subscribing to your YouTube channel, they're liking your Facebook page, they're on your email list so that they can get notified of each new episode or video as it comes out, right? So they're binging your content. They're wanting to just watch more and more of it. Yeah? Give you some examples of this. There's no sound here. These are just GIFs, just to give you an idea. But on the left-hand side of the screen, we see an example of very simple to produce, frequently asked questions by an ophthalmologist, an eye surgeon basically answering common questions. He does this once. He's a very busy guy. He sits down and records these frequently asked questions once, and then people don't need to ask him those questions again. They probably do, but, you know. So the primary platform for those videos is YouTube, and they're optimized for search and all that good stuff as well, which we're not going to get into today. And then in the middle, we can see an example of Volvo Trucks. Now, Volvo Trucks is a big global brand, but they recognize that their truck drivers, they don't necessarily want to be sold to when they're scrolling their Facebook feed. So this video example here is primary platform for Facebook, so it's in the square aspect ratio with burnt-in captions so that people can engage with the sound off. And it's just how to save, like 3 tips for how to save fuel with your long-haul truck. Right? Valuable information for their ideal target audience. They know what makes them tick. And then the third example here, Saddleback Leather, is a BTS video. Saddleback Leather, if you want to check out their YouTube channel, is a great example of video across the full funnel like we're talking about here today, just on their YouTube channel alone, so check them out. So this video is basically very simple to produce, just with an iPhone and putting some text overlay on the bottom, and it's just showing how to make a leather iPhone case. And it's the kind of video that I started watching, just doing some research for this, and then I ended up watching the whole 18-minute process because I was like, this is fascinating, like how they do this. And I'm almost bought a leather iPhone case, but I wasn't quite the right target market. But anyway, so that's the power of this, bringing people behind the scenes. People care about this stuff. Okay, so then if we move down to the purchase end, so we've gone through brand positioning, we're now engaged people with social engagement content, helpful content, and then what we need to do is to consider how we can get people to actually buy from us, right? Because that's what business is about. So when we get to the purchase end of the customer journey, the goal is conversions, right? Making money. So the goal here is to create content that is focused on sales. Okay, it's all well and good to have an amazing video strategy that engages people with great stories and provides good value, and then it all drops away when it comes to actually making the sale. So sales-focused content can take a number of different forms, and there's just some examples on the screen. It's not an exhaustive list, but it might be demonstrating a product, okay, showing people how the doors open and shut and what buttons to push, right? It's rational stuff now. We want to maybe take people on a walkthrough, show them behind the scenes of our program or our platform, or give them an example of how it works in a particular use case. Testimonials work well here. Now, testimonials, what I'm referring to, is very different to what we call a client story, which was at the other end of the journey, right? So a testimonial is social proof. It's a whole bunch of videos, say, on your landing or sales page of your website saying, I love this product and, everyone should buy it. And if you've got like 20 of those that show social proof, it's rational, it's not telling a story, but it's powerful in converting sales. Landing page videos, so having videos specifically on a landing page that is just about what that content of that landing page is, keeps people on page longer and improves conversion rates, and I'll show you an example of that soon. One-to-one sales video is highly underutilized, and that's the idea of using personalized video, whether it be just shot through your iPhone or through your webcam on your computer, or using tools like Vidyard, the Vidyard plugin or Wistia Soapbox. You maybe have heard of those, but you can create videos that go with your proposal or your sales pitch or whatever that humanizes that sales process, which is often taken away when we just shoot off an email and say, this is how much our prices are, right? So using video here, these aren't videos for YouTube. These aren't videos for Facebook. These are videos that are designed to be used within your sales process in some way, whether they're embedded in emails or whether they're on your sales pages or they're in your sales funnel or whatever it may be. Because the reality is that 68% of customers don't want to talk to a salesperson. Okay, think about your own behaviours. You don't want to be sold to. You want to make the decision yourself, and then when you're ready to buy, you'll talk to a salesperson. The best example of this that I can share that probably applies across a bunch of different industries is Zappos. So if you're familiar with Zappos, the online shoe retailer, the biggest problem they came across when they launched years ago was people want to actually try on the shoes, right? They go to a shoe shop because they want to see what it looks like on their foot, what it feels like. So to overcome this, Zappos realized that the power of video on individual product pages that humanized the buying process and showed the product in the context of as close they could to the reality of actually being in the store with a salesperson, it drastically increased conversion rates. So the example you see here is they've got a guy for this Hey Dude Wally stretch shoe, and the guy who's presenting the information very deliberately is representative of the ideal person who would buy that kind of shoe. So if you go to a different shoe brand on this site, you would see probably maybe a female presenting or an older person presenting than this guy. And all he's doing is just doing what a salesperson would do in a store. It helps you feel you overcome that barrier, that objection to sale. Heaps of great examples of how you can do this, right? Okay, so we're going storytelling content, we've gone through helpful content, we've gone through sales-focused content, and then finally our advocates. So they've bought from us. See you later. No. They bought from us, now we need to engage them further. Okay, we need to get them to buy from us again or to have a great customer experience, because the goal here is, it's all about relationship-driven content, right? So the goal is delight. And if you can delight your customers through human-to-human connection, which video is the most powerful way to do that, you build a better client experience. And if you can provide a great client experience, then people are going to buy from you again and they're going to talk about it. Word of mouth is the most powerful thing you can tap into here. So some ways to do this is personalized video. We talked about some of those tools before. There's a number of apps that you can use which basically enable you to systemize the one-on-one video creation. So you get a little notification on your phone, says someone's bought from you. One of your team then open up their app on their phone and they go, hey dude, awesome to have you buy from us. If you've got any questions about the product, reach out to me anytime. My name's Ben, I'm on the customer success team here. Just by sending that video through, that person's like, oh, he said my name. And, you know, I feel connected to that purchase. Super easy to do these days, and so many people don't do it, it stands out, right? The other thing is, so that's kind of one-to-one messaging as well, onboarding video. So if you can create a series of videos that your customers get through a drip, maybe email sequence, in the days after they bought your product that help them get the most out of your product or service, then they're going to feel much more confident about the product that they bought. They're going to get success earlier, and you can do that in a systemized way. Just make it part of your customer follow-up sequence. Thank yous. How often do you get thanked after you purchase something personally? By the CEO of the company or by someone representing the company. You can do that through video, super simple. You don't need to spend a lot of money on it. Milestones. Think about your industry, your business. Is there certain milestones? So maybe 6 months in, do you often get people dropping off and forgetting about you? Can you re-engage them through a video that's, you know, systemized and sent out at 6 months or 12 months? Okay? Think about membership type organizations, or when people need to buy from you again and again, or monthly payments. Look at those typical months when you get churn, customer churn or drop off. How can you put some video in there that makes them go, oh, actually, I won't cancel this month, right? Or build community, right? So think about how you can build community through your videos, because when people are part of a community, they want to buy again and again and again, and they want to tell other people about that community. So many opportunities here that you need to think about for your business, what's going to work for you. Some examples on the screen here. On the left, you see an example of an app called Bonjoro. Bonjoro is one of those apps that systemizes and makes it super simple just to add video into your sales and customer conversion funnel. And this is just me, like someone's bought my program, I get a little notification on my phone. It was Saturday, I was down at Nippers, which is Junior Lifesavers down on the beach, and I just shot a quick video and welcomed David into the program. And he shot me a quick message back and said, awesome Ben, thanks for the video, can't wait to join the program. So it's super simple, it took me like, what, a minute. And then the other example here that you see on the right is, it's basically personalized video at scale. And that's more for enterprise level stuff, so not for the smaller businesses in here, but using a tool that enables you to do this, such as the one by the guys from Vidyard, you can create video that kind of has placeholders in it that you can drop in personalized aspects. So it feels like that video has been created for Ben, but I could put Mary's name in there, I could put David's name in there, I could put John's name in there. So this is just an example of the kinds of things that you can do that personalizes that customer experience and gives those moments of surprise and delight that people just lap up. Okay, so that's the full funnel video strategy framework. The idea here is you're moving people from storytelling to selling through to advocacy and word of mouth, which, as we all know, is so powerful. And we're creating different pieces of content for different purposes along that journey. And critically, we're using them in different ways. Now, you'll notice I haven't talked specifically about any particular platform, because for your business, when you start to map out this journey, you can start to think about the kinds of videos you need to consider creating and then align the distribution platforms to those videos. Right? So don't just start thinking like, everyone's talking about YouTube, I just need to get on YouTube and that's it, right? Be strategic in your business and decide what kinds of videos you need to be creating to engage your ideal customer and move them towards a purchase, and then make decisions around distribution platforms, optimization, all of that sort of stuff that you're going to learn from other awesome people here on this stage today. So what did you think? Has the concept of the full funnel video strategy framework helped you consider other types of video marketing that you could utilize for your business? Let me know in the comments if you have any questions or feedback on this idea. I'd love to hear from you. And then hit that subscribe button for more video marketing tips to grow your business. And now I want you to watch this video right here next to get a little more tactical as a video strategist. And I'll see you in that video very soon.